welcome to another episode of Diving with Don. This time we're doing Port Hardy.
So I started off from my house in the News Bay in the Beachcomber area, Cotton Point, also a very popular dive site, oddly enough. And we headed up the road on Vancouver Island all the way to the top of Vancouver Island to a place called Port Hardy, a drive of about 3.5 hours. Now this whole weekend was organized by Trent over at Sink or Swim. He owns the place. And UB Diving, Sean Smirchinski, who runs the boat but also does UB Diving. So we ended up at Port Hardy, where we went to the Quarter Deck Inn and we stayed there. Nice hotel, clean room, very convenient because we launched every day from the marina. You can see right to the side to the right of the Quarter Deck Inn. Now where did we go? We went to some great dive sites that any boat captain worth his salt will know all about in the Port Hardy area. Danger Rock, Browning Passage, 5 Fathom Preserve. We had a windy day where we couldn't launch the boats. We did a shore dive at Bear Cove. But then the next day, Gooseneck Grotto, Seven Tree Island. Great dives. All these pictures and video came from there.
I am aboard the HMCS Good Vibrations. And chaired by captain by Sean Smirchinski. And we're going to have a good 3 days of diving. Yeah. Good Vibrations moving along with twin Yamaha 200s. Whoa.
On your left, we have Sean, our boat captain, and on the right, my dive buddy for the entire weekend, Phil. Phil here is filling in his paperwork, as I had to do the same thing, usual liability release and so on. It was a great dive boat. I don't know how big, but it's an aluminum hull. It has an elevator for going up and down out of the water. It's great. And here's a shot of the marina where we stayed at. Very much a commercial marina, because fishing is big in Port Hardy. So is logging. It is very much a resource town. Mining used to be done here as well. We went to get gas one day at the gas dock, and that's Chris, also a guy we dove with. Now, coming out of the marina, you'll get a picture of what it's like. This is the Friday. Nice, calm day. Sun was there. Isn't that great? More of the dive gang. Of course, there's Phil. And on the left of the screen, there's Trent from Sink or Swim.
Yeah.
Sean was cranking the tunes the entire diving trip, and he played this as we're leaving Port Hardy. We want to break free. Appropriate, isn't it? And this is what it was all about. Look at the incredible color and life you get in the Port Hardy area. This area has a lot of current. Current means profusion of life that requires nutrients. All these anemones, these plumose anemones you see here, the sponges, the soft corals, the barnacles, everything you see is an order of magnitude more profuse, more prevalent than what we get here in the News Bay. It's not that the life is not great in the News Bay, but look at this. There's just so much more. This is why people go diving in Port Hardy. Look at this little crab on the right here. He's waving. Hello! Yeah, the fish you'll see, are also remarkable, and quite of them are different from what we get down island. Soft coral, the beautiful red, soft, don't touch it. The sponges, there goes a greenling, the white plumose anemones, the profusion is incredible. Here's a wee barnacle or two. It's stuck right, oh, there goes a greenling. Squirrel. And we're just gliding along. Here's another type of sponge right here. Look at the beautiful, I think it's called Elkhorn sponge, the way it just sticks out and waves in the water. Here's a profusion of barnacles and filter feeders. You can see them. Look at them. These little guys, little feeding mouths, grabbing nutrients and bringing them in. The visibility was great. For the most part, it was phenomenal. Look at how clear and bluey green, the bluish the water is. Such color. Wall diving is the biggest feature of Port Hardy, undoubtedly. And you do get fish. A lot of these dives, I just could have kept the camera running the whole time. There was so much to see, so much to grab. Ooh, fabulous. It was just wonderful. And here's Phil. Mahalo, dude. There he is, just chilling. He's got perfect dive posture. And there was Brock. Brock hung out with us too. There's Brock. Nope, pardon me. That's Phil. Divers all look the same, right? Here's Brock. It was a pleasure diving with these guys because they're easy, they're comfortable. Oh, this is Trent, and check out what's on his head. Yes, that is an octopus, but not a real one. It's a knitted octopus. He wears that on his hood. Isn't that cool? The four of us, Chris, Phil, Trent, and me, we had sushi one night at a restaurant overlooking the harbor. Well, back to the diving. So, of course, I mentioned fish. This is a black rockfish. And then Mr. Lingcod. Lots of lingcod. We dove the site 5 fathom. It's a nature preserve where you cannot fish. And so the cod somehow know this. Maybe they read the sign. Oh wait, there's no sign. But look at this. You'd swear you're in the tropics with how many fish there were. These are the black rockfish. Wow. You could put this on your screensaver, and it's so peaceful. It's so nice. There were the biggest lingcod I've ever seen. Again, in preserve, in a 5 fathom preserve. This guy was pretty big. It's hard to tell your size, but I'm saying he's at least 4 to 5 feet, as was this guy. Big. We're talking a very large, healthy lingcod. Now, this is a China rockfish. That's what they're called. They're stunning with the black and gold. We don't get these where we live in News Bay. Irish Lord. These guys, most of the time, are nestled in amongst the anemones and coral. Almost hard to find. Phil was the Irish Lord Whisperer. He found them every time. He said, oh, look over this, Don. Look at this. And then I would see it. And here's a shot of one. It's, you get the whole fish. It's not often they're out and about like this. Now they're beautiful greenling. Aren't they pretty? I think this is a female, by the way. I do believe. This little guy was no more than an inch long, a juvenile of some sort. He's looking at me. He's saying, you can't see me. And of course, the traditional wolfeel. Here's our wolfie. We didn't see many of them on this trip, but this guy was pretty photogenic. Just checking us out. You can see how long his body goes up into the crevice there. Now, on the surface are also many, many cool critters. What do you see there? I'll give you a hint. Okay, that's a terrible dolphin imitation. I'm sorry. These are doll porpoises. Look at them. They swam up to the boat, and then they did the traditional riding the bow wave and scooting in front of the boat. We weren't going fast. They were keeping pace with us, having a good time. Look at that. Nature at its finest.
I'll get out of your way. Don't worry. You're so cool. Hi, guys.
He is. He's digging. He's doing what one of my cats does in the sandbox.
If you didn't notice, that is a black bear, a smaller one, juvenile black bear, digging for yummies on a beach on the way. And we saw this on the way to one of our dive sites. Look right ahead, center, water. Now look to the right. Guess what those are? Whales. We also saw many humpback whales. Some other whales kinds as well, but mostly humpbacks. They often hang. Oh, there's one on the left. He just, whale spout. Now, watch carefully. We have whale. We have his humping back, and we have
tail.
Woo-hoo! We had whale tail. So cool. They're sea otters. This one is just, it's hard to tell it's an otter.
It's a big one.
But this next shot, you'll see very clearly. Once again, Sean picked this music. I didn't pick this. Sea otters stay in the water all the time. They even give birth in the water like this. This guy is lounging on his back, snacking on a shell of some sort, and just lounging about. Now here are some of the other critters we got to see. Many nudibranchs. This beautiful yellow one, or rather an orange one, and this beautiful alabaster nudibranch. Aren't they gorgeous? They're not large. They're about maybe 3 to 4 inches across, or wide. This is an opalescent nudibranch. Gorgeous. Only about an inch long. Very small. That's why I was moving the camera a bit, trying to get in to see him. Isn't he something else? Look at that. Stunning. This is a hooded nudibranch. We didn't get to go to the nudibranch bay where there's thousands of them. But this next one, there's a bunch of them, or maybe one a special kind, all on a piece of kelp. Isn't that cool? We've got a sea lemon on the left, a yellow nudibranch, and then an orange peel nudibranch on the right, and another orange peel one here. You get an idea. These are bigger, maybe 6 inches across. A strawberry anemone, closed. Wait for it. And open. Isn't that something else? Aren't they gorgeous? I love the colors. These crimson anemones, the green ones. There's a bit of everything there. A Telia to the right. Another green anemone. I don't know who comes up with these names. I'm sure a botanist or a biologist would give me a better answer. Oh, cute little crab. Look at this guy. I think he's a decorator crab. Or a kelp crab. Here's another one. Hanging out. This beauty is a Puget Sound king crab. We do get these in Inus Bay too. A sea pen. Looks like the fern leaf, or the fern of the sea. They're really something. There's a lot of them in this particular area. There was a whole bed of these sea pens. As you can see, there's a few here. I think this is lion's mane, but it's certainly a larger jellyfish. The visibility wasn't as great here. Here's some, I think it's a type of sponge. And this is a basket star, a special type of starfish. It doesn't look like a starfish, does it? But it is. And some sea kelp waving in the current, backed by a bed of plumose anemones and some fish. Now, let's close off this video with your last shot at seeing some of the beautiful colors of the wall. These are more close-up shots of the walls in Port Hardy. Wow, 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 wow. In case you're wondering, for all of my pictures and video, I use a Sea Life Micro 3.0 camera. It's a sealed unit, so you don't need a separate housing. It's good to 200 feet depth. It takes 4K videos that are stabilized and 16 megapixel pictures. So it's not bad. Sure, there are much better cameras out there, but judge for yourself. It does pretty good for what I do. Well, we're getting near the end of this episode of Diving with Don. The Port Hardy adventure really was fabulous. I hope you've enjoyed the color, the life, even the whales and the porpoises and all the other things that we got to see on this wonderful diving adventure. Once again, many thanks to Trent Bell of Sink or Swim and Sean Smerchinsky of UB Diving. You guys rock. You made this weekend unforgettable. Thank you very much. So, stay tuned for the next one. Cheers.